Hi everybody, it's Paul. Would you like to be able to shape shots? Would you like to be able to hit draws and fades on command? Well, it's not that difficult when you understand how it has to happen. But that's the key. You have to understand exactly what's required. And there's some misconceptions out there about what cause draws and fades. And I want to clarify because those misconceptions are actually the polar opposite of what you need to do most times. So let's talk about what is a fade, what is a draw. Now for these I'm going to talk about right-handed golfers. For left-handed golfers you can just reverse them. A draw is a ball that starts out to the right of the target line and moves back towards center. It's not a ball that starts at the target line and moves away from the target line. That's not a draw. So a draw starts to the right, moves back towards the center line. A fade is a shot that moves left of the center line and comes back to the center line. So once again, both shots are moving towards the center line. They don't move away from the center line. Those are not draws and fades. So let's talk about what is actually required to hit draws and fades, go over some diagrams, explain how they work, and then I'll give a couple of examples by hitting a couple of shots. So a draw. A draw, once again, is a ball that starts to the right, comes back to center. So the first thing we have to understand is a very easy saying. Your face sends it and your path bends it. That means the face has a huge influence over where the ball starts. So if your face is open, your ball will start to the right. If your face is closed, your ball will start to the left. Your path then creates the curvature. Face sends it, path bends it. So for a draw, we want it to start to the right. So we know that we have to have an open club face. And this is the polar opposite of what most people try when they want to create a draw. They think closing the club face is required. It's the opposite. It has to be open because your face has to send the ball to the right. And then it requires an inside-out path. So in summary, your face has to be open in relationship to the target line. So if the target line is 0, your face has to be open more than 0. Your swing path has to be open or inside out more than the face. So if the target line is 0 and let's say the face was 2 degrees open, then your swing path has to be more than 2. So we could be 3 or 4 or 5. So swing path is out to the right, face is pointed to the right also, but not as much as the swing path. Now for a fade, the opposite is true because the face sends it and the path bends it. Your face has to be pointed left of the target line. So in reality, a fade has a closed club face. That's the polar opposite again of what people think. They think the club face is open. If it's open, the ball would start right of the target line and go farther right, moving away from the center line. We don't want that. So now what I have is I have a face that's closed to the target line, but open in relationship to the swing path. So it's not open as much as the swing path. Once again, let's say the face was 2 degrees closed. The swing path could be 3, 4, or 5 degrees to the left. So the face is less than the path. So that gives us draws and fades. So let's put it into play and see what happens. So I'm going to start with a draw. And once again, a draw is going to be an open club face. So I should see the ball start to the right. Then my swing path is going to be farther to the right than my club face was pointed. That will curve the ball backwards. Face sends it, swing path bends it. Okay, so let's see what happens. Slightly open club face, start the ball to the right, have it curve back towards center. And there we go. Out to the right, curve back to center. All right, so here's a perfect example. We look in the middle on the bottom, face angle, 1.4 degrees open. So that's to the right of the target line. Swing path, 4 degrees inside out. So that's also to the right and farther to the right than the club was. And then face to path is the difference between the two of them. So the face to path was 2.6 closed. So my face was closed to the path, but open to the target line. So that's a draw. I cannot hit a draw with a closed club face because it starts at left. So now let's hit a fade. We talked about a fade. It's the opposite of what people think. The face sends it, the path bends it. I want my ball to be sent slightly left of target, so when it fades, it falls back to the target, not starting right and going farther away. So I have to point my face slightly left of target, and then I'm going to align my feet a little bit farther left than that, so that my swing path, which follows my feet, will be moving farther left than the club face was pointed. Okay, making sense now? So fade is not open club face. It is a closed club face, very slightly closed. Okay, so here we go. This one's a little harder for me. Well, look at that. Out to the left, back to center. So the ball curved right. Was the face open? Most people will say yes, but it wasn't, because the face sent the ball to the left. So let's have a look at some numbers. Here is the shot shape of that fade that's on the screen. So now I look at some numbers. My face angle, 4 degrees closed. That's closed in relationship to the target line. My swing path, 7 degrees out to in. So it was 7 degrees to the left. I swung 7 to the left, and my club face was pointed 4 to the left. So because they're that way, my face to path angle is 3.2 degrees open. My face was open 3.2 degrees in relationship to the swing path, but 4 degrees closed to the target line. And we create a fade. So I know that a lot of people focusing on trying to create draws and fades don't understand the face angle of having to be open or closed to send the ball in the initial direction. And a lot of people work on closing their club face for a draw. So what happens when my club face is closed and I still make that inside out swing path? Well, what happens is the face sends it, the swing bends it. So the face will be closed, so the ball is going to start to the left. Instead of starting out to the right, now when it bends left from that inside out swing path, it moves away from the target line. That's no good. We don't want that. So closed club face, inside out. And there we go. That's not a draw. Ball's now almost off the fairway. It moved away from the target line. Here's my shot shape. Ball moving away from where I want it to go. And here are my numbers. My face, 3.7 closed. That's closed to the target line. My swing path, inside out. Now my face to path is more than the face. So the ball is going left and staying left. That's no good. So now the bad example of the fade. Brain is telling me fade is an open club face. I know it's not true because face sends it, path bends it. If my club face is open to the target line, the ball immediately launches and starts to the right. The outside in swing path puts curvature on it. So now the shot that people think is a fade and it gives them trouble is open club face and across the ball. Starts to the right, farther right. That's not a fade. That's a drop shot. My fade required a closed club face, not an open one. Let's have a look at some numbers. So there's my shot shape, way off. Ball started to the right, went farther right. Here are my numbers. Face angle, 7.4 degrees open. That means the ball launches to the right immediately on strike. Swing path, out to in. That's my curvature. Ball curves to the right because of that. And now my face to path is 9.4 open. So my face is 9.4 open more than the swing path. That's not a fade. So the saying that I keep repeating, face sends it, path bends it, is something you must realize. Without that, it's impossible to create this shot. With a fade, my club face has to be pointed left of the target line to start the ball left. My swing path has to also be left, and the angle of the swing path has to be more than the angle of the closed club face. That sends a ball this way, curves it back to center. For a draw, my club face has to be open. My swing path has to also go to the right, but the angle of the path has to be greater than the angle of the open club face. That sends it out, brings it back to center. Well, folks, I hope that helps you understand draws and fades a little bit better and possibly explains why maybe you're having trouble creating them. It's probably because the face angle is backwards from where you thought it had to be. Draws are not closed club face, they're open, and fades are not open club face, they're closed club face. And if they're extreme, of course it all goes out the window, but it needs to work that way so that you can produce shot shapes that allow you to navigate around the golf course in much better success than you previously were. Anyway, once again, I hope that helps. I'm Paul Kelly. Thanks for watching.